Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It is episode 9 and you know what to do. As always, if you want to see the reaction itself, just go down into my descriptions, follow the links, replace the parenthesis dot parts with real dots and enjoy the reaction. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear my thoughts about this episode. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Ogres. Monsters. Interesting episode, nice one, and I really like it. I mean, if you think about it, what we have encountered so far, the species we have encountered mainly are the typical fantasy species. So we have seen some humans, we've seen elves, I remember them, yes, all female and good looking, sure. We have some very sturdy dwarves, I like them a lot. We have goblins, which is the village. We have the first hint of orcs, which started in the last episode, and now we have ogres. Those are really the typical basic fantasy creatures when it's about civilization building creatures, you know? There might be something like gnomes or halflings coming along, I don't know, we will see. But that's already really good. There are some more giants. We have had a dragon already, so that's in the mix already. So really good. It's all basic, but I like the concept of those races. They are all very close to the typical what you would expect sometimes, like the dwarves, but then they are very unique in the way they are shown and described. So the ogres here, I really like them. They are very, you know, in many systems, ogres are so the brute and stupid ones. As example, in Overlord, we have seen them as being more the brute ones. And here they are, I would say, sophisticated, pretty clever, intelligent, have their own society, and some of them seem to be pretty wise, you have to see. Then additionally, they seem to inherit the Japanese nature, the Japanese way of life from medieval ages, so in weapons and clothing and everything like that. So that's cool. I really like it. It's a good idea, and I'm looking forward to learn more about them and their way of life. So that first. Now let's see what we had. We started off with the mask. It was repaired, so he had it. Rimuru had it swallowed and puked it up again in a repaired form. So it is working. I remember I discussed about the mask last time, and what it does when he wears it, it suppresses his aura. That is very useful. A very good thing to have, because now he can wander around without being, you know, like recognized everywhere. So there seem to be a lot of people who are able to sense your aura. I guess it is not a totally common thing that everyone realizes your aura, but a lot of people and animals and things seem to be able to do it. So have something to blur your aura, to hide it, is a good thing to have. He realized that, and I think that's interesting, that his human form does not seem to have magic sense, at least not as good and well working as his slime version. We've seen it in the fight that he used magic sense once to evade a strike. But in the beginning of the episode, he himself said that he can sense less than he normally would. He at least guesses that the senses are worse than that of the slime. So that's good to know. Which means that when it is in a real tough spot, in a real hard fight, he might want to fall back to the slime form instead of staying human, because he has a better perception there, and that can be essential in a fight. He inherited all skills of Ifrit. I mean, they did not really tell us what skills those are. I mean, Ifrit was a major fire spirit, so I guess that's a lot of things. Sure, the Black Flame we have seen here, he got from, I guess in this case, he got all the skills of Shizu as well. That's incredibly powerful. I mean, I wasn't completely sure how much he could absorb when he swallowed some of those monsters. I always questioned, is he just getting one of their skills or two? Or is it like we know now, like everything? And thus he's able to get every skill. That is incredible. I mean, every fight he could like double his power depending on the enemy, you know? So that's awesome, but I guess on the other hand, he has to, although he knows them now, he has at least once or twice to use them to be really aware how they work and what they do. He is not completely sure, I guess, about what Black Flame does now. It is very posing, very cool looking, but apart from that, what is it used for? But still, as I said, incredibly good, and he's able to create body doubles now, as Ifrit did in the fight, where he was all around him then. And he could even change the outer appearance of the body into a more male or female form and into a more grown-up or younger version. So that's interesting. So in case you, as example, want to go around a city and look for, let's say, trading partners, if you're clever, you scout first what kind of traders are there and how it is common to be known as a good trader, someone just by outer appearance who you would trust more. Would you trust more into the young and quirky type that is like starting fresh and thus is willing to take some risks? So you would take a younger form, but most traders possibly would go with the age, with someone who's experienced, who looks like he has seen a lot already, that he is playing safe, or you guess he's playing safe, so you take an older form of your body. That is, never to underestimate, that's a really good ability there he has. We will see how he uses it. What else did we have? Creating forms. Oh yeah, he talked about this skill that he got from Shizu called Degenerate, which, as he tried to explain, is not as negative as it sounds. So if I got this right, Degenerate allows you to combine other skills, other abilities into a new one. So you could try to, as example, having some kind of a fire skill and having some kind of a wind skill, you could try to create like a firestorm out of it by having fire that is blown by wind or something like that. I'm just guessing here. I mean, we've seen in the past in episodes that when he was able to, when he had some skills, multiple ones, that Greater Sage or his inner self, however you want to call it, made up a new skill by itself. So like, thus you have this and this ability, you now have water propulsion, as example. I guess Degenerate is kind of that, just that it doesn't do it automatically. It is more for like, if you want to experiment yourself. At least it seems. We are, yeah. He hopefully is able to taste. I really hope it for him. It would be sad if not. I mean, he's still a slime, and the body that he has is just slime acting as though it is a body. So there's the question if or if not he has taste buds now. We will see. I hope for him, because I think that makes it way more interesting in this world if you're able to enjoy food. That's, thus he has no male or female organs. He possibly will not enjoy a lot in this direction, apart from being, touched and everything, which is nice as well, I guess. We have seen him enjoy it. But at least some food as compensation would be nice. And then we met the ogres. So, one thing. He was back in the cave. There were some megacules there. I may be wrong, but it looked like there was still some crystals lying around there. And I thought he had eaten all of them. So maybe it's just because they wanted to show that it is a cave. But I was a bit surprised, because as far as I understood, he ate them all. So, just saying. Now the ogres. So there seems to be a misunderstanding. Someone, as it seems some orcs, with a mask, attacked the village of the ogres, and by the fact that they are there now, I would say this did not go well for the ogres at all, because if they would have repelled the attack or anything like that, you would guess that this group is still in the village trying to rebuild or help their people. But thus they are out there. There are only two options. Either they are hunting the attacker and the village is more neither still there, or the village is gone and they are kind of fleeing, moving away. Not sure. If they are, however, trying to follow the attacker, that would mean he is somewhere around in the forest now, which means he's somewhere around the goblin village. And we know he was sent to this forest to take it over, so that's possible. We seem to have the elite of the ogres there. So we have their leader, the what was he called? Young chieftain? No, young master. We have a princess, which seems to be the sister of the young master, so they're brother and sister. We have two. One very brutish-looking guy who was sent to sleep, paralyzed instantly, and the kind of female version of him, with the huge mace, which was entangled. So I guess those two are like bodyguards, I would guess, from what I've seen so far. I'm not sure. And then we have the old sage, and I would say old sage because in very many ways what he did reminds me a lot of the idea of a sage. He seems to have a lot of wisdom. He knows stuff. He was able to, just by perception, to see which skills Rimuru used, was able to name them instantly, was able to say from which monsters they are, and even got the conclusion, like, instantly, that possibly Rimuru got them from those monsters. And thus, it is possible that Rimuru has even more skills from other monsters. I mean, that was within seconds. That is awesome. This character, and that's why I have him here on screen, is not to be underestimated. He is someone who has a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, who's sharp, and as we've seen, an incredible fighter. I mean, he was able to cut off Rimuru's arm like instantly, and as Rimuru said, he was able to dodge his magic sense. He cut through the barrier and the body armor and cut off his arm. And I remember that Rimuru has something like physical resistance, which lowers the amount of damage he receives by quite a margin. But still, this arm was off instantly. So he is, in my opinion, the strongest fighter of them all. He may be old, but damn it, he's good. Yeah, he's like Splinter in many ways. So that's the thing. Knowledge. There was a misunderstanding. They kind of were able to talk about it, while Rimuru tried to show off, not wanting to tell too much, but he can't stop himself. He has to name all the skills he has, And then he invited them back to the village. So there are many things here. The one thing is he's able, with the help of the princess, to negotiate like a draw, like a peace moment. And which he was able to in many ways because he did not try to overwhelm them or just kill them, which he could have done. He was the one in power. So this gave truth to his words that he doesn't want to fight. If you're the stronger one and you say I don't want to fight, it makes it more believable. If you're the one who's about to lose, then sure you don't want to fight, so why should one stop? So that's one thing. The other thing is he's able to make friends very fast in the way he does, and I think there's a good option. He will make friends with the ogres and possibly will offer them to help them. I mean, make good trade partners in the future, why not? Additionally, not to forget that whatever hit their village, the orc, possibly is a danger for his village as well. So, working together there makes sense. And now the last thing. They don't have names. I mean, we have seen this in those episodes where he named others, that their power level increases a lot. Now, bodyguards, okay. The master the young master being named by Rimuru will be possibly very impressive already. The princess, I guess, as well. She seems to be a very good magic caster. But what happens with this guy? I mean, there are multiple things. We've seen, on the one hand, old ones. The old Goblin Chieftain became younger again, and incredibly bodily strong. So that might be something happening with him. But just talking about the power level, right now he is already very good at what he does. So what will happen when you give a name to him? I don't know. That's interesting. This could be like, if you're a king, you need people to help you, to guide you, to counsel you. This is a valid option of one of those. So have a look on him. I will have an open eye and see what is going on. As I said, a very good episode. And I really look forward to the next one to learn more about the ogres. So I hope you do as well. That's it from me this time. Until the next time, my name is Relax and Panic. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Goodbye and out.